just to define what this team is going to do this year.
Yeah, I think Theo said this over the winter meetings. They said 2015. That's the year we get back into the playoffs. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Honestly, I feel like next year, you make a couple of moves, and Rizzo and Castro are another year older, and you probably have Brett Jackson up here. Hopefully, acquire a little bit more pitching talent, and that's ready to make an impact now. They could do. I feel like they could compete in 2014, not for the World Series. I'm a diehard Cubs fan, Tom. I've been waiting for the World Series for 100+ years. Well, I'm not 100% plus years old, but for the
you've been waiting there in the existed or whatever. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So, I feel like although I'm 21 years old, and I've witnessed a lot of different Cub letdowns in my life, I feel like I've felt the pain of the past 100 years, and I'm ready for the streak to be gone. But 2014 isn't going to be it. Maybe 2015, but a lot of things are going to have to fall into place. There's a lot of what ifs right now.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think you just hope for the best this season with the Cubs, and we just have faith in Theo. I mean, the guy won two rings in freaking Boston, ended the curse of the Bambino. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. And like you said about them coming back, I mean, you talk about Rizzo and Castro, and then you got the depth, too, with De Jesus and Darwin Barney, guys that can kind of make plays. And I don't know. I think they still got to get rid of the dead weight is obviously the problem. Marmol and and Soriano and just. But they've been doing that the past 2 years. I mean, you remember the Ryan Dempster trade last year?
Yeah, I liked that trade. I didn't like where he went. He could have gone to Atlanta, and we would have gotten a lot more for him because he was the ace of our staff last year. So getting rid of the dead weight, yes, I completely agree with you on that. It's just what are you going to acquire back? And that's the big problem here is, are they going to acquire some quality talent to really fill the holes that the Cubs need? Because right now, I mean, if you wanted to, if they really wanted to, they could make a push to trade Soriano to Texas. Texas got that third base prospect, Mike Olt.
Yeah. Yep.
Which, I mean, I've seen some of his numbers. I really like the guy. I feel like he could really, really, fill the void there. But I don't know. Getting rid of the dead weight, it's got to be the number one priority for this ball club.
Yeah. So I mean, and I don't know It's a tough thing right now because it's like, what do you got to get rid of these guys that suck pretty much. They've been on the team for too long. Got to get out of here. I mean, would you rather go for a player that's like a mid-vet that's been in the league a couple of years, or would you rather go for picks? If you're in Theo's spot,
I'd rather go for talent for the minor league players because you could always be. One thing with the Cubs throughout the decade of the first decade of the 2000s is that they didn't have a minor league system to bring up players. So Theo wants to bring that back because they saw it in Boston. Look at Dustin Pedroia, perfect example. He's an all-star now and a perennial all-star every season. Always plays well. Jacoby Ellsbury, those guys like that. They have monster years every year in year out. And I can see the Cubs wanting to get there, but it's going to take some work. It's going to take some work.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: who do you see in the World Series? I know this is really far out. We still got 150 something games left, but are you looking at maybe Texas or Detroit or San Francisco? I mean, I got a feeling Detroit's going to get there. I mean, this year, I don't know.
That's tough because it's really wide open. It feels there's more parity in the league now. At least in the American League, the Angels aren't going to be as good. Texas isn't going to be as good. I mean, the only thing that's going to keep Texas afloat is their pitching, and the Angels, if everybody can hit, which they're not right now. We witnessed it past couple of days where Because the Angels Texas series was this weekend, so the Angels are the Rangers are intentional walking Albert Pujols to get to Josh Hamilton because he's had 0 for 4, 0 for 3 days the past couple of days. So with Detroit is more they're gonna suck at the beginning of the half season. The White Sox are gonna be one of the best teams in the Central, in the AL Central. So come August, September is where Detroit really starts to turn it on, and the White Sox kind of start, all right, it's the end of the season, we want to make playoffs, but we don't know. So, I don't know. Coming out of the American League, AL East is just too competitive. I don't see, it's going to be tough. It's a really tough, that's a really tough question, to be honest with you. Like, even in the National League as well, like, the Giants, you got to give the Giants credit. They're World Series champions last year, so you got to think they'll be back there again this year. So, I don't know. If I had to pick today, it'd probably be Detroit and San Francisco again, I think. So,
yeah, I'd probably have to agree with you on that. And Verlander signed a deal, what was it, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
What was it again? It was like 100 and...
No, it was like 200.
Was it
yeah,
two?
like $200 something million for like 8 years.
8 years, yeah.
So, I want to become a friend of Justin Verlander.
Yeah, let's get to know him, man.
Yeah, man.
Best pitcher in baseball. Well, so I guess I'll have to wait and see what happens with all that. Real quick here, though, we'll try to switch gears here. I forgot to tell you this earlier. Let's talk...